Hello everybody, I am Sunny, your North Country Knitter, and welcome to my podcast. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I'm very excited that you are here. And if you've been here for a while, hello, welcome back. It has been, I think, about a week and a half since I did my last podcast, but I do have some two finished objects for you this week. Yay! And then I wanted to kind of catch up on my 2020 goals, my knitting goals for the year, and see where we are. So if you're new, hello and welcome. If you are watching this and you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I am trying to grow my channel, and yeah, so I'd love for you to subscribe, like, and comment if you find anything interesting about this podcast. I think this is Yarn Chit Chat 30, number 30. So yay, 30 videos. All right. You can also find me on my social media, which is North Country Knitter, or at North Country Knitter on Instagram, and North Country Knitter on Facebook. I also have an Etsy page, which I will link down below, as well as my social media outlets. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, moving on. So let's do works in progress first. So let me get organized. Somehow, and I don't know how, I don't want to face this reality, but we are at like time to make fall items. So I'm currently making little pumpkins, little knit pumpkins, and this is just a single rib stitch. There we go. Single rib stitch, knit one, purl one, and I knit them flat right here, and then I sew them together, cinch them together, and fill them with stuffing. And then I actually use sticks. I've seen a lot of pictures of ones that use cinnamon sticks, but my husband's aunt was actually the one who first wanted me to make some for her, but she didn't want cinnamon, so she wanted sticks instead. And I just found some sticks in my yard that fell out of our trees, and I used those instead. So this one's almost finished. I had to get a little bit better at my mattress stitch. They're coming out a little bit wonky, and so I need to go rewatch some videos on mattress stitch, because I mean, I can tell and it bothers me. So I need to fix those somehow. I need to relearn. But this is using Lion Brand Basic colors. I think that's what they were called. I do not have the bands on them anymore, but I know I got these at Joann's, and this one, I'm not entirely sure what this one is. It's just a random white acrylic I have floating around, so I used it. So there are those, and yeah, they're coming along nicely. I'm not ready to face the fact that fall is literally right around the corner. We've already had some mornings where I've gone out for a run because I'm training for a half marathon, and I had to start out wearing a long sleeve shirt because it's a little bit chilly. I usually warm up by the middle of the run, but not ready to face that. Not that one. Yeah, no. This one first. What are you? Okay. So I was having so much fun working on my shawl that you've seen in the previous episodes that I started a new one. And this is using Caron Latte Cakes in the color Coconut Delight, Coconut Cream. I got this last year at Michael's with a coupon, or it was on sale. I didn't pay full price. So here it is. So far, am I showing you the right side? Yes. Here's the right side. And as you can see, I am controlling when the color ends, so I can have these nice solid blocks. Since this is garter stitch, I don't want that that color change to happen on the right side. So I'm controlling when the colors end, the color blocks ends. So I'm gonna have a lot to weave in at the end. And I know I should stop right now because I've paused on this shawl currently, and I will get to that in a moment, and weave these ends in. So by the time I finish, I won't have so many massive amounts of ends to weave in, because that can seem overwhelming. And I know I've seen a lot of people suggest stopping your work every now and then, picking up a needle and just weaving in those ends. So by the time you are finished, you don't have that many to weave in, and you don't procrastinate on that, because I've definitely done that. I've just waited and waited and waited and waited to weave in the ends at the end, and I've had basically a finished product sitting there. I just need to weave in the ends, and that can just seem daunting. So this is what I have so far. Obviously I have a long way to go, and I think this is just a raglan increase. I was working on that baby sweater I've been working on, and I liked the look of that, so I just continued that little type of increase here. I don't know if you can see it so well. Sort of, maybe. There you go. So that is that, and then I'm just doing a simple knit two together, not knit two together, simple increase by knitting through the front and back of one stitch, the second to last stitch on each end. Yeah, so it's hard for me to say it. I can do it, but putting it all into words is just tricky sometimes for me. I don't know why, but there it is. And this is, yeah, I've had this. I was really excited to get it because it was such a neutral color. And I'm happy to be working with it now. I'm using, it's considered a bulky 5. That's just, I'm sure it's just because of the fuzz, because that does not look like a bulky to me. But I'm using, what are these, size 9s? US 10s, so 6mm clover bamboo needles. And hopefully they will be long enough. I have a lot of stitches smushed on here, but there's that. So I'm working on that. I've kind of put it on a little bit of a pause. I'm sure I'll pick it up every now and then, but currently that is on pause. And you are my poor baby sweater. No, the baby sweater's downstairs. Okay, I have not made any progress on the baby sweater. I literally just need to do the sleeves, which will take me no time, and do the buttons. I was looking for my size 4 or size 7 double pointed needles. Guess how many I have? 3. I have 3. I've lost one of them. So I need to go buy another set of double pointed needles because I don't know how to do the magic loop, and I don't think I have I don't think I have a set of large needles. I'm losing all my vocab today. I don't think I have a set of needles like this that will work for those. They're not long enough. I think they're the appropriate size, but they're just not long enough for it to work. So I have to get a new set of double pointed needles for the sweater so I can finish the sweater and you guys can stop hearing about the sweater. But it is a very cute sweater, and I'm happy I'm making it, and I want to get it finished because it's been on my radar for so long, and I think there's been about 3 weeks now that I haven't been able to work on it, and it's just starting to like get into my head, like, you need to finish this, but I don't like having too many projects going at the same time. I can get overwhelmed by that, so I need to finish it, and I just had a notification pop up, sorry. So I just need to get the appropriate size double pointed needles with enough needles, more than 3, to finish the job. So that is that. I have made lots of progress on my socks, mostly. And they're basically, I could finish them anytime I wanted, but I want to bring them a little bit further up the cuff before I finish them. So this is one sock. And as soon as I finish these, I have some more. You can't really see it. It's right there. Right there. It's sock yarn I got from Knit Crate that I want to cast on and make myself up a pair of winter socks. And my friend Anna sent me a couple different patterns because I wanted to do something that had a little bit of something extra in it, not just stockinette stitch. And one of them was called, oh no, Anna, I forgot the name of them. I haven't forgotten them. I had them in Ravelry. One of them had Hermione's Everyday Socks or something like that. And then Out to Tea socks? Oh, one of them has to do with tea and one of them has to do with Hermione. Sorry, and I forgot. I didn't totally forget, I just forgot the name, and I can remember what both of them look like. And I'm gonna have a hard choice picking between those two. But there's still an opportunity for me to do a little bit of lace or something at the top of these. So that is one sock. And then here is the other. And I'm gonna have a ton of this yarn left over, which really gets me excited, and I'll tell you why in a second. So here is the other one. So these needles, I'm using 2 different types of needles, and they both have pros and cons. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a needle review on these when I finish. I also made these socks just like a tad too big. I think I could have gone with a small size. I went with the medium, thinking if I went with a small, it'd be stretched too much and it'd be uncomfortable. But having put these on, I realized I could have gone with the regular, or the size small. I also, check it out, I dropped a stitch in there that I had to fix before I'm finished with these. So yeah, there's my little stitch. But anyway, I've started watching a new YouTube channel called The Crimson Stitchery, and she socks going all the time. But what really got me excited about having leftover sock yarn was the fact that she does a lot of leftover yarn socks. So she creates these fun little socks. Like one of them was this rainbow pattern of just leftover sock yarn that she used. So I think it'd be fun to one day be able to create a pair of socks out of yarn that I've made so many other socks out of. Random, I know, but that's a goal now to make a pair of socks out of leftover sock yarn. So that is that. New goal. I dropped my yarn. Common occurrence. So those are those. I'm so close to having those done. All right, we will move on. Well, we'll move on to finish objects. How do I have so many pens up here? This is not a finished object I'm taking out, but it relates to one that I'm working on. So, or one that I finished. A little paper. There we go. First finished object. And if you follow me on Instagram, you saw this already. Ta-da! It is the Boneyard Shawl, designed by Stephen West. And I actually messed up a little bit on this because I did not do enough garter stitch at the bottom, so it curls, but that's okay. So this is the finished object. I did block this too. I had to look this up because I did not know if you could, or if anything would happen if you blocked acrylic yarn. But I just sprayed it with water, got it pretty well wet. I pinned it first, sprayed it with water, and then let it dry. And I had to do it in 2 sections, but it came out looking nicer once I had blocked it a bit. So that is that. Here is a little up close. Yeah, I made my husband go outside and take pictures of this because I was so excited, because I feel like this is my first finished shawl ever. And this is using Lion Brand Mandala. This is in the color Spirit. And I got this from Hirschner's. And they have a ton on there still. But I got these were considered unbanded, like mill ends, I think. So I got them at a great deal. But it's currently unavailable. And I keep looking to see if it's going to come back. So that is this. Oops. And I did not do any type of color control or anything. I just pulled straight from the center and away I went. I did think when I first was starting that the color change happening in the middle was going to be, it was going to make it look wonky overall. And maybe to some of you it does. It's okay. But to me, it doesn't bother me at all. Now, if I ever did like a solid color, I think it would be fun to go in and do this little garter stitch in a new color to kind of break it up a bit. But I've also seen this done a lot in a speckled yarn, and it looks really pretty in speckled yarn. So that is finished object number 1. Yay! So happy with it. So happy with it. And then finished object number 2. I got a little preemie hat done. I was watching my friend's kids this past Tuesday, and wanted to get something done. All the kids are really close in age except for my baby who's 1, but she still manages to play with the bigger kids. And so they all play very well together, so I can just kind of like sit back and knit. And I wanted to get a little hat done. And this was the last hat I was able to get out of this yarn. And I have my box of preemie hats here. I think I managed to get 5 out of that ball of yarn. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, all in varying sizes. So from this size all the way down to this size. And this is the only one that has just a curl band on it. What's the word I'm looking for? It does not have a ribbed cuff at all. So I was able to get 5 of those. It is very soft. And this is using a Premier yarn that I don't believe is available anymore. And I got smart and I organized all my yarn, so I do not have it available. However, I have talked about this yarn in previous episodes of the podcast. So yeah, that is that. We're gonna get back to that in a second. My last works in progress is I am doing another boneyard shawl. I dropped my stitch counter, or my row counter. I'm doing another boneyard shawl, and this is in the colorway Genie. Yep, I have 1. I had Spirit, Genie, and Pegasus. Pegasus is in another room, but it starts out at this very dark blue, which you can see on the outside, and goes into this gray, out to this seafoam green, into white, and then back into gray. So I'm working on this. I just started Friday, and I've got a good little ways on it. Yeah. And coincidentally, this one managed to match up. So I got the garter stitch right on the last row with the dark blue for the most part. And yeah, I can deal with the color change when it's stockinette stitch, because it's a little less in your face as opposed to the garter stitch where you see the 2 colors. And I don't mind it on other people's work, So if you're fine with that, don't think I'm like, oh, your work is wrong, because I'm not. It's just when I do it, I guess I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that. I don't know. But it does not bother me at all in other people's work, just my own. Weird. So that is that. I will be working on this quite steadily, and yeah, I'm excited to be working on that one. And now I thought it'd be fun to do a little review of my 2020 knitting goals this year, and see where I am. My first one was to weigh all finished objects, and I did great with that up until about 2 months ago, and then it just fell off the wayside. I was making a lot of small objects and was like, oh, well, I'll weigh one and then times it by however many I've made. And then I just never did that, and I've stopped doing it. I should start again. It's right here. I could go weigh it right now and get back on track with that. But I was up to about 4 pounds. My goal was 25. Oh my goodness. I should have stuck with like 10 pounds of yarn to use. But that, I can get back on track. I wanted to learn how to do a cable stitch, which I did do. And I don't have it up here because it is packed away with winter clothing. But I had this really unique, different type of pattern. I'll link it down below because it was a free pattern, and I'll link the blog post to it. Where it's not your typical cable, but it was still a cable. I wanted to finish my sock, which I have done. This was very poorly done because I didn't bring any of my projects with me. I did manage to do that, and they're in my drawer in my room, waiting for fall so I can wear them again because it's too hot right now. And I wanted to finish up 10 charity scarves. I have managed to do one. I need to get on that. And I wanted to start a scrap blanket. I have not managed to do that at all. I had a couple patterns that I saved on Ravelry, and it hasn't been something that's piqued my interest lately, probably because it's summer, and I don't really have too many scraps around. I guess I do and I don't. I managed to use up quite a bit because I make a lot of smaller items, so I don't actually have a ton of scraps to use. That one may not get done. We'll see. And I wanted to renovate my office. That was a duo with my husband. That was something that had to be done by the both of us. And he's still doing pretty much all of the work. The only thing I've done so far is hold up some drywall and pick out the paint color. But it is almost done, and we will get back in there soon. And I'm excited to do that because currently I have just like boxes of yarn that you can't see that need to get up on the wall where they were. And here's the paint colors. Oh, I don't have it with me. Nope. We're going with green in there. I don't have the color that I actually used with me. Man, I should not have done this part. I picked out the color. It's called Melon. It's a Sherwin-Williams paint. And I used to work at a Sherwin-Williams. That is actually where I met my friend Anna, who taught me how to knit in the round, and we are still friends, and she watches. So hello, Anna. And yeah, so still going strong with Sherwin-Williams paint, Anna. I had a hard time. These were some of the colors that I had picked. They all seem extremely like bold there, but they have to match this, that color stain. So it has to be something that has a little bit of gold in it. And it's a very dark room overall, so it has to be a very bright color. So some of these are just out already. This was not one of the colors I picked. Hopefully it works, but she said I could always bring the paint back in and get it a little bit darker if it turns out too light. Because when you see it in sunshine, it practically looks white. But she like turned the lights off and everything so it could kind of mimic what the lighting is going to be like in the office. And it's much darker. It shows up much more green. So hopefully painting next weekend, or if Matt gets done what he needs to get done this weekend, I might be able to do it during the week, which would be nice. And yeah, I'll be able to move back into my office soon, which would be exciting because I know he wants to use this space. And currently there's knitting stuff all around and he can't use the space. So that's where we are. I'm like 50-50. I'm doing okay in some things. Oh, finished 40 preemie hats. I think I'm above 20. Yeah. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I have 21 done. 2 of these were already done from last year. So, and I got these 2 done, which I'm counting because I didn't weave the ends in until this year. So I'll probably do 42 just to cover those. So that is where I am. Yeah, so I'm not doing too bad. And I had to remember they're just kind of like guidelines, not like you must get this done type of goals, because I can do that to myself, make myself feel bad when I don't need to. So that is everything I have this week. I'm hoping to get more pumpkins done. I really want to get my socks finished, because that'll be a big sense of accomplishment for me to get my second pair of socks done. And then I really want to cast on with that yarn. Yeah, it's called Jungle Walk. It's from Knit Crate, and that yarn sold out incredibly fast. So I couldn't get, I purchased more when I could, but it's not available anymore. And I love that colorway. So I really want to get these ones done so I can cast on with those ones. And yeah. All right. That is everything I had this week. I hope you had fun watching. I know this video was a little bit longer. Thank you for bearing with me if you are still here. I'd love to hear any comments or thoughts of what you've seen down below. I don't have any particular questions for you, but let me know what you think. Actually, I would love to know if you have made a shawl. And if you have, what was the first shawl pattern you have ever done or can remember doing? Because I know there's a lot of you out there who love doing shawls. And this is the first one I've ever done. So I found the pattern very enjoyable and very happy with it. Definitely need to do the 2 inches of garter stitch at the bottom so it lays flat. What makes me really mad is I probably could have done another row, but I was worried about running out. So knowledge for next time. Yeah, so I would love to know what shawl, if you have ever done a shawl, if you've ever made a shawl, knit or crochet, and what pattern it was, or what pattern is the first one you remember doing, or one that you're most proud of. I don't care. Tell me about a shawl you made. There we go. So there we go. And thank you all for watching. Remember, you can follow me on my social media at on Instagram at North Country Knitter and on Facebook at North Country Knitter. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.